but it's just a matter of how are you doing? No, I emailed one to the mayor what I'm doing, so I'll just tell you. I did give you an I can give you this is I can give you this. Okay. Okay, cool. There's not a lot. That's 41. So she's such a Jew. And I did so.
Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting, City of Florissant, May 22nd, 2023. We begin our evening. I would ask everyone to stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I would ask Post 4105 to come to the front of the room and lead us in that Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you all very much. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Harris? Here. Manganelli is absent. Egan?
Here.
Caputa? Here. Childroth? Here. O'Donnell? Here. Pagano? Parson? Present. Siam? Here.
Let the record reflect that a quorum is present. The approval of the minutes. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes and the executive meeting minutes of May 8, 2023? Seeing none, Councilman Siam makes a motion to accept and approve the minutes, and that is seconded by Mr. Shildroth. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the meeting minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is a special presentation. The first presentation is a proclamation for Ron Scanlon. This will be followed by an introduction of the incoming officers of VFW Post 4105. Mayor?
Whereas Ron Scanlon has been the commander of the VFW Post 4105 for the past 5 years. During that time, he has transformed the post. He saw the post through the difficulties of COVID, created a no smoking rule, and used the pandemic as an opportunity to completely remodel the post, including the new parking lot, handicapped access, the patio, new HVAC, coolers. He has created an event central location that is a jewel for Old Town and the city as a whole. And whereas Ron is a U.S. Navy Desert Storm veteran, after graduating from Jennings High School, Ron began his Navy career in Great Lakes, Illinois, then traveled to Orlando, Florida, and eventually ending up in Norfolk, Virginia. Whereas while in Virginia, Ron was stationed on board the USS Puget Sound, AD-38 destroyer tender, along with a variety of Mediterranean, Indian Ocean, and North Atlantic cruises. Ron was deployed to Bahrain during the Desert Storm. In addition, Ron earned the National Defense Service Medal, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, and the Good Conduct Medal. Whereas Ron is a Gold Legacy Life member of the VFW Post 4105, where he has been a member since 2000. Ron is also the 2022 Veteran of the Year. The VFW Post has achieved All-American twice and All-State 3 times during his tenure. Ron serves as VFW Department of Missouri 12th District Senior Vice Commander and member of the VFW Honor Degree Military Order of the Cootie Pup Tent 5. Ron was the chairman assisting the city in becoming the POW MIA City and Purple Heart City. Whereas Ron has been involved in CYC sports over 10 years and currently a board member of the North County District. Ron is currently the Director of Loss Prevention and Health Safety for MERS Goodwill. His wife Jennifer works for Hazelwood School District in early childhood. They have 3 sons and a daughter who is an auxiliary member of the VFW 4105. Ron and his wife are proud grandparents of 2 granddaughters, Amelia Lee and Evelyn Harper. And now, therefore, I, Timothy J. Lowry, Mayor of the City of Florissant, Missouri, and the members of the City Council do hereby thank Ron Scanlon for his dedication and commitment to the Florissant community.
Ron, I just want to first thank you for your service to our country and everything that you did serving the United States of America. Thank you so much. And for all your hard work that you've done since that time, certainly serving as the president of the commander of the Post 4105. I know you took it over at a very difficult time. They've really changed it around the last 5 years with great work, so we certainly appreciate that and everything that you do for the city of Florissant. And you certainly were a veteran of the year also, so thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ron. It's been an honor to know you, get to know you, even though we give each other a lot of problems of Davey and the Marine Corps. But we all have that same thing in common. We all took that same oath. So no matter what branch of service you're in, we all took that same oath. So congratulations, and wish you luck in the future.
Again, congratulations, Ron. You definitely made a difference in the post. I could tell from the initial start that you came in and everything, all the improvements that you made over that time. And you're definitely a pleasant person to work with. I always had a great time coming up to the VFW Hall to speak with you. Never was in a bad mood. So, you know, just a great guy. And of course, go Navy. Go Navy.
I just want to say that, this is awesome to have everybody out here tonight. I don't know the last time we had this many veterans here. But it wouldn't be possible without all these folks and the city. Everybody on this board has made this easy. When you're part of something and you get to surround yourself with good people, it really becomes easier. So I appreciate the support here. Andy, I know he's not here tonight.
Yes.
Andy, I can email him, text him, and we come up with ideas and we do things. Then I take it back to them and they all shoot me down. And then we work through it and we have a good time.
Looks like very supportive for Ron.
Yeah,
Could you introduce the other part of your family that's not going to serve the city of Florissant for the next
we
year?
do. Lily Scanlon is our newest life member back there, newest life member of the auxiliary. And she's also on the Queen's Court this year. Special maid. She's supposed to stand up at this point. All these guys at some point have served our VFW down the road. Our incoming commander is Joe Redden, who happens to be a Marine. The new team will be Steve Arthur, unfortunately Air Force, Talbot is Quartermaster of the Air Force. Dan Larrabee back here is Marine. Jimmy Bellman back here, I don't know if he's Army or Air Force Guard, whatever he is, but he's retired and living good down south. And then we got the rest of our crew. I think it's cool to note in here right now, you have everybody from Korea, from Vietnam, the Desert Storm, to Afghanistan in this room. So that's hard to be proud that everybody showed up. So thank you all for letting me do my stuff, and thank the city for being a partner.
George, you want to go for a minute and say a few things about, you got some big shoes to fill. I know that you were a Marine for 21 years in both active and reserve duty. And you've sort of were deployed a few times during your career. You want to introduce yourself, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. I'm Joe Redding. I'll be taking over in June and attempting to fill the shoes of Ron. Basically, it's not exactly filling the shoes as much as simply grabbing the torch and carrying it, because the things that Ron has done has made our post very, very strong. We're just going to continue the traditions.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending tonight. It's great to see you all veterans here tonight. Certainly the core of our community, a great veteran community here in the city of Florissant, and we certainly respect everyone. Thank you for what you've done.
The next item on our agenda will be a special presentation by retired Senator Tim Green. Mr. Green? Good evening, Senator. It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you as well. Good evening. The legislature adjourned Friday the 12th. I sent Mayor a report of what I'm going to talk about. There were 41 bills passed. 17 of those bills were appropriation bills. In the past, there has been averages of anywhere to 80 to 140 bills passed. If you read in the media, there was not a lot done the last 2 weeks of session over personalities, positions, and policy. One of the things that did pass that I think the seniors in your community will be appreciative of is Senate Bill 190, and what that's going to do is it's going to eliminate the state income tax on Social Security benefits. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to freeze property tax on the home of Missourians who are 65 years of age and older. It will ensure seniors don't pay more in property tax on their property than they did the same property when they turned 65 years old. There was a lot of other issues, I guess you could say, that pandered more to the extremes than it did really on public policy. One thing that did finally pass is, I want to say, over 20 years ago, we passed no texting for people under 21. They passed no texting for people over 21 as well. While texting, you cannot be pulled over for texting, but if you are pulled over for something else, you can also get a citation and a fine. But if texting causes a fatal accident, you can be charged with a felony. They simplified sales tax for purchasing of cars. So if you go to Johnny Londoff now and purchase a car, you can pay your sales tax right there. That makes it much easier. The state of Missouri passed a $48.8 billion budget. Last year it was about a $49 billion budget. Probably the one thing that will affect most Missourians in their daily life is they funded with close to $2 billion, making Interstate 76 lanes from Wentzville to Blue Springs. And it's also putting, I think, $40 million to start the study to widen the bridges on 44, so after they're done with 70, they can start expanding 44 as well. I give that Governor Parson took the initiative, but most of this money is coming down from the federal government in the Biden administration, pushing for infrastructure improvements. So the legislature will take the credit, but it was actually the federal government that implemented sending this money down for infrastructure improvements. There were some Republican legislators from outstate Missouri that didn't want the money to go on Interstate 70, but more the smaller roads. They do have a bridge program, but Interstate 70 is the heartbeat of our economy in Missouri. If you see, we are more a logistics center now in the state of Missouri. You see trucks traveling all the time in distribution of commerce, so that was a good thing. In public education, school funding, it's $3.6 billion. It is fully funded, and $50 million in grants will go to schools that apply for safety and security and on-site police officers. Several things that did not pass is the elimination of sales tax on food by Senator Coleman. That got some time in the Senate. Did not pass. The video servicing, now you have streaming services, so those streaming services are trying to get out of that video right-of-way tax. There was an agreement made when we did the Wayfair that there would be a study with different people that are interested. The Muni League would have somebody. For some reason, the previous speaker never appointed that study group. So the Muni League and the lobbyists for the different municipalities gather, and we were successful in defeating that issue against the highly funded video servicing providers, lobbyists, and their donations. You always hear probably from several reports are from the Muni League. There's a representative in St. Charles, St. Peter's area that tends to want to take away local government's ordinance jurisdiction on policing businesses and communities and having your inspection of homes. Both of his pieces of legislation did not make it out of the House as well. One thing the mayor has asked a lot about, and I want to thank the mayor, he came up to Jefferson City and testified, but you got these video lottery machines everywhere, and they're called gray market machines because the law's not clear. It's not black, it's not white, it's gray. I think the law is clear, but nobody is enforcing the law, so these gaming machines are everywhere. So there's been an initiative the last 5 years. If you're not going to get rid of them, and there's roughly 30,000 of these machines in your gas stations and in your local food establishments. There's some in grocery stores as well. But you may as well regulate them and tax them so that the consumers are protected. The other issue is sportsbook, and we're a state that has not passed it. And it's the reason being is the boats are going to monopolize the sports book market, but at the same time, they don't want competition to their boats to regulate and tax these video lottery machines. And to put things in perspective, the 13 boats, the 13 monopolies, they have a total of about 15,000 slot machines on those boats. There's over 30,000 unregulated and untaxed BLT machines throughout the state. So the boats in their industry said, we want sports book, we want to control the sports book. So the sports book that they want wouldn't be like the Keno of your local establishments. They couldn't bet in their little local tavern that employs people, and we always say small business is the heartbeat of our economy, but the boats say no, they can't do it. You have to do all your betting on your phone through their apps, and that shows you how much political influence they have. So the senator pushing this regulation said if we can't regulate these unregulated machines, there won't be nothing. So I was a little saddened by the owner of the Cardinals mentioned if we would have had Sportsbook, we could, while they were dealing with their losing streak, we could get quality players. And I'm like, you're already charging $12 for a hot dog and $16 for a beer. So, but that one did not pass. And there was a property tax, personal property tax issue to lower the personal property taxes. That was Senate Bill 8. That did not pass either. Was this?
Any questions on the council? How about we'll start with Ms. Pagano, please. Ms. Pagano?
I have a question because it's one I'm totally for, the automobile tax at time of purchase, to pay that. Do you know if that is a requirement now, that it will be required that all dealers collect the tax?
I think it's made available for the dealers to collect the tax. The dealers wanted the ability to collect the tax because I think there's probably going to be incentives with the dealers when you purchase a car. You might be able to get some of your financing done for the tax through financing for the car. So I can't say they're required, but I can say they're very anxious to have the ability to do it.
Right, and I know because I spoke a lot of this when we have been on conventions in Jeff City over collecting it, and one of the pushbacks I was getting was that the computer systems aren't capable of doing it, and it would cost the state a lot of money to do that. So is there money set aside for them to update the computer systems? Because this is just for everyone. If they do this, you're not going to see the temp tags anymore. I mean, it will be that the taxes are paid, and it's a lot of money coming back into the state. So
they budget 2 years ago was $35 billion. With all these federal dollars coming down, the infrastructure spending isn't just for roads and bridges, but it's for the infrastructure of the systems of the state as well, and their upgrades. So there's been an increase the last 2 years of $15 billion a year for upgrades for technology as well as mortar and concrete.
now that's a good thing. So you don't know when this will actually take effect, when they can start doing it?
The law will take effect August 28th.
All right.
And these dealers have been pushing for it for years, so in a capitalistic world, I think the dealers will have it ready for August 29th. Are you buying a car this summer? Are you buying a car
No,
this
I
summer?
tell them I am a dealer, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just wondering. So, anyway, thank you.
Mr. Shildroff?
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator, do you see any kind of compromise next session with the sports betting and the
This is
rate
about,
boxes?
yeah, that is a very good question. This is about the 5th year that the sports teams have teamed up, no pun intended, with the gaming boats. The question is, does the sport teams finally say, I've had enough? They have talked about possibly doing an initiative petition as well. Now, there have been some preliminary polls, and when you run for something statewide, when you do preliminary polling, you want to be at 50%. And if you're not, can I achieve 50%? Polling is only at about 40% for expansion of gambling, whether it's VLT or it's sports books. So there's going to be a lot of marketing, and to get an initiative petition, an issue with the signatures, it costs about $3 to $4 million, and then to market it's another 5 to 6. So they're going to have to figure out. I wish I would have thought level heads would have come together, but it's basically you got 13 licenses for the boats. There's 6 owners. Several of the owners, Caesars and Penn, are the ones dictating the policy for the boats, and they're saying no way. So it's just hard. The compromise was there. They thought they had 18 votes in the Senate, and at the last minute, calls were made, and the votes were only 12.
Do you know other states around this, I'm sure, have had this issue?
Well,
And they-
Illinois already regulates and taxes VLTs, so that's really not an issue over in that state. The spread of VLTs has been more in Missouri because we are a trucking state. In a lot of these facilities, when people are in those trucks, you see some of these truck stops have movie theaters now. They are also having these video lottery machines now too.
Thank you,
So-
sir.
Mr. Harris?
Thank you, Mr. President. The first bill you spoke about was Bill 190 of interest to seniors about, I think, the property tax.
Yes.
I missed the first point about that.
The first part was it will allow seniors, regardless of their adjusted gross income or filing status, to deduct 100% of their Social Security benefits from state income tax.
Okay, thank you. That's what I
You're
missed.
welcome.
Mr. Parson?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Good evening.
Good evening.
Just to follow up on something that Mr. Harris just asked in regards to the senior citizens in that bill, I think you mentioned the property tax was going to be assessed continually from the age of 65. Is that what you mentioned?
Yes.
The people who are above the age of 65, it would just be that
You
particular,
start
whatever
now.
that you start now, whatever
Right.
it is this year, and then
Yeah, they can't
that's
go
what
back and get
they can't go back.
refunds.
Okay. All right.
It's a good question,
Right.
but you can't go retroactive, so,
Okay.
yes.
Well, Senator Green, I see no more questions from the council. I thank you for being here, and we look to see you again in the future.
Okay, thank you, and he asked for a copy of that.
Thank you again, Senator. All right, moving along, the next item on the agenda is the hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue, not necessarily on the agenda, for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please wait until the end of the meeting and contact them afterwards. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when that public hearing is announced. If you wish to make a comment, there are some comment cards next to the door. They're yellow in color. If you will complete one and hand it to Mr. Hessel, he will pass it along the dais. Mr. Buckner, I see that you are going to talk about an item that is going to be discussed in old business tonight. I would ask that you wait until then. I will forward you the opportunity during that period of time to say what you wish. I see no other cards. Thank you, sir. And we'll move along to communications, which there are none. Next item on the agenda is public hearings, and there are none. Old business. Bills for second reading. I will move for a second reading of bill number 9878. I will move for a second reading, and that is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? I will start the discussion off. This is regarding Scrubbles Car Wash that has been proposed in Ward number 3. I've been on the council for 12 years, nearly 12 years, and in that 12 years, we have overruled Planning and Zoning Commission on one occasion. I can't even remember the topic that we overruled them on. We value our commissions, especially the Planning and Zoning Commission, for a variety of reasons. Not only is it citizens, but they're volunteer citizens that we pick to serve on these committees and these commissions. I believe that the Planning and Zoning is the only one that has any requirements such as an engineer or architectural requirement. And I believe that is because when we founded the city, or the city was founded, they decided that if you have a group of people who are detached and intelligent, that you sometimes come up with better decisions. So I am against this project first and foremost because we need to be very measured, in my opinion, when we override planning and zoning. But every single project must stand on its own. This is in my ward. I literally go by this every single day of my life. And I'm not a Facebook politician, although I do know what the community wants. I watch social media, and the trends on this project were overwhelmingly against it, but that's not why I'm against it necessarily. I've received dozens of phone calls from not only my constituents, but from constituents in other wards of the city, in unincorporated St. Louis County, and from the city of Hazelwood, all who would be impacted by this project. I don't think that a 3-story storage facility and a car wash fit at this corner. And I agree with my constituents, and I will be voting no on this project. I will make a motion, however, that we suspend the rules to allow for Mr. Buckner or any of his representatives to come and give their comment to the council. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Mr. Buckner, would you like to address the council? Please state your name for record, sir.
I just want to take a minute to tell you what Scrubbles does for the communities that it is involved in. Number one, we employ 9 employees with a total payroll of $415,000. That's including bonuses. We offer a health insurance program to all of our employees, and in a lot of cases, many of our employees have never been able to partake in a health insurance program. We have budgeted $175,000 annually for water, for our utilities, including water, sewer, gas, power, and trash. We pay our property taxes at the current millage rates. We have a fundraising program, and this is where we really link up with our community partnerships. They include schools and churches, police and fire departments, sports teams. We do this uniquely. We have a founders club that's offered through these fundraising programs. We have a discounted program. Normal monthly membership of our top package is $39.95. We offer, during our founders program offerings, we offer it for $28.95. The very first month of every membership paid, we donate $25 back to the group. It to be used for many things: sports equipment, fire equipment, police equipment, whatever. We do wash every police car in the town, whether it be city, state, or county. We have a program where we have a wash book, and we allow 1 free car wash per police car per week. You know, they say when money is made and spent in a community that it turns 7 times, a minimum of 7 times. So the spend cycle off of a car wash that we expect to do $1.5 million a year, that's a lot of money that we're talking about spending in the community. And for that reason, I do ask for your support in this. In my rezoning application, I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to show the city what kind of positive impact that Scrubbles does have on the communities where they serve. So, thank you.
Ms. Lum?
Thank you, and I will be brief as well. I know that Mr. Buckner and his organization have made a lot of effort to address the city's concerns as far as noise. You know, it's less than 60 decibels to the property line. It's less than 60 decibels, you know, just a few feet from the equipment that are making the noise. And they've addressed the concerns regarding the volume of car washes, the volume of storage facilities, both by explaining why their facilities are different, but also kind of addressing the need of those things that are still there, and the appearance of the buildings as well. I don't know if any of you have gone out to St. Peter's. I do have some photos with me if you want to look. They are nice buildings. But the other thing I just wanted to talk about was the use in the building. I did take some time before this meeting to take a look at what is allowed in a B3 zoning district, which is what this is now. And it ranged from a fitness center, convenience store, self-operated laundry, all of which are businesses which would potentially generate additional noise or traffic beyond what perhaps the storage facility would do, and in the case of the laundry, potentially be open 24 hours, as opposed to the car wash and the self-storage, which has some regulating hours and some security as well. From personal experience, I, like Mr. Egan, do live in the area. I go past that corner on a regular basis. I personally have not seen a lot of traffic there. It's just my 2 cents. So, any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is a motion for the bill on the floor and a second on that motion. There's been discussion. All in favor of a second reading? Opposed? Aye. And the bill dies for lack of second reading. Next item on the agenda, new business, board appointments. Your Honor. Next item on the agenda, bills for first reading. Bill number 9883.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Table 13B, parking prohibited at certain locations at all times by adding thereto a portion of St. Patrick Lane.
Next item on the agenda, council announcements. Mr. Shodroff, you can start us off.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to remind residents it's grass cutting season to please not blow your grass clippings or cut your grass into the street. That's prohibited by ordinance. This grass will eventually end up blocking our sewer inlets, and then we're going to have all kinds of standing water. And 9 people or 10 will get phone calls up here. Why is there standing water? So please do not do this. Mulch it or bag those clippings. I'd like to congratulate Parks employee Mike Crankiola for his Public Service Award from North County Incorporated recently for his 50-year service to the city of Florissant. I went to the breakfast last week, and it was a nice honor for Mike. And Florissant resident Pat Blaisdell was also honored for her work in the city of Florissant. Thank you.
Your Honor, stand by 1 second, Mr. Caputa. Well, you just got in there, Mr. Caputa.
I was ready to go.
Got it in at the right time, didn't I?
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, if you own a firearm, make sure you secure that firearm. Do not leave it in your vehicle where it can be stolen. Make sure you keep the firearm secure to be a responsible firearm owner. If you cannot be a responsible firearm owner, you shouldn't own one. Trash. I've had a few calls where trash company they said they missed it, but these people, you have to have your trash out by 6 in the morning. So make sure you get your trash and your recycle out by 6 in the morning, because they come at various times of the day to pick that trash up. So make sure you get them out by 6 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
Now, Your Honor.
Thank you. The City of Florissant is seeking nominations for its Beautiful Home Award program. To be eligible for the contest, a home must be owner-occupied, single-family dwelling. Residents may nominate their own home or other homes in the city. The judging criteria includes, but not limited to, landscaping, attractive exterior, overall curb appeal, and the maintenance of the property. One winner will be chosen from each of the city's 9 wards. Nominations must be submitted with a current photo and may be mailed to the Community Development Office, the Government Building at 1055 St. Francis, or you can send an email to communitydevelopment@florissantmo.com. All nominations must be received no later than June the 16th, 2023. This Wednesday will be our first Wednesday night out. I'm on St. Francis Street. Before the Wednesday night out, which starts at 6 o'clock in front of the VFW post, we will have a plaque dedication for the late Dr. Rance Thomas, which is set to be in front of 410 Rue St. Francis. Memorial Day is Monday, and we will have a Memorial Day ceremony at the James J. Egan Center starting at 9 o'clock. We'll also have the City of Florissant and the VFW post will host a flag retirement ceremony, which will be here in front of City Hall on June the 10th, starting at 9 a.m. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next meeting of the Florissant City Council will be June the 12th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Councilman Harris makes a motion to adjourn the meeting. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the council shall stand adjourned. Thank you.